What is up, Karol here with Themeisle. What I want to show you today is how to build a small business website using Hestia. So Hestia is one of our most popular themes. It has been downloaded more than 4 million times and currently has thousands of active installations on the web. It is a multi-purpose theme, but it was created first of all to serve small business websites. And building one of those sites is exactly what I'm gonna be doing today. Alright, so let's get it started. So first of all, you're gonna need the theme, of course, so you can get it either from the official website, our official website, or of course from WordPress.org, just grab it from here. But as always, the actually easiest way to get it is just to go to your WordPress dashboard, into Themes, Add Theme, and in here, just put in Hestia. And yeah, that is the one, just install it, then activate. And as soon as you do, Hestia is gonna show you an onboarding wizard just to make things, a bit easier. So yeah, let's start the setup. First off, the most important page on any website actually is the homepage. So right out the gate, Hestia is gonna guide you through the most effective and impressive at the same time setup for a homepage. You get to make a choice here. So do you want to show your latest blog posts on the homepage, or maybe you want to create a custom homepage? And given that we are building a small business website, most of the time you will want to have a custom homepage. So let's go with that. So next step is about bringing in some new features to your site, to your WordPress setup. The great news is that all of them are free and they are divided into two categories. So first off, performance features. This includes mainly the Optimal plugin, which is a plugin to optimize the images on your site. And then in the extending functionality category, we have the Orbit Fox plugin and the Otter Blocks plugin. Both of them are gonna extend the standard feature set that comes with WordPress. So yeah, I'm gonna show you both. So let's just install now, and Hestia is just gonna bring in those elements to your site. And yeah, it's only gonna take a minute, maybe less than a minute. Hestia is gonna ask you whether you want to provide your email so that we can stay in touch, let you know about new features. I'm gonna skip for now, just for demo purposes. And just like that, we are done. So let's finish setup. And this is gonna bring us directly into the WordPress customizer interface. You might have seen it once or twice already, right? It has been the main module in WordPress that allows you to customize your website. So we are gonna do a couple of things here, but first off, what are we even looking at? So this actually is our current homepage. This is the demo homepage that was just imported by Hestia. We can see it in all its glory if we go to the actual homepage of the site that we are working on. So this is it. Quite nice, but of course it has only demo content right now, so we're gonna change that to be our content. So let's take it from the top. So first off, let's change the headline of this whole page. So for demo purposes, I'm gonna be building a small business website for a small business that deals with various coffee equipment. So I just prepared some example copy. So yeah, if we want to change the headline, all we do is just click on this pencil icon, and in here you're gonna see on the left hand side, you're gonna see the different sections that correspond to what you see here in the center. So for me, I will change this example text to my actual headline. Then I'm also gonna change the subtitle, and finally I'm also gonna change the button text. Explore equipment. So just like that, you can tune up every piece of text that you can see on the page actually. And of course, we couldn't not change the background image of this site header. So this is pretty easy to do as well. So just click on change image, and in here, you're gonna see your standard WordPress media library. So, just bring in your image, and then you can click on choose image to have it appear in the background of this site. Yeah, looking quite okay, I think. Then of course, the one thing we didn't change is the actual link of this button. So once you do create a page for your services, your products, you can basically just put the web address of that page in this box. So here in my case, I will have a page called equipment, just to list all the coffee equipment that I'm supposedly selling. So let's include that in here. This is a local website, so that explains the funny address. And then what's next? If you want to adjust any of the sections that you can see here on this very page, all you do is just click on the corresponding pencil icon, and this will show you specific options depending on the section, where you can very easily adjust all the text, all the images, all all the layout details that define this very section. For example, in this one, I can change pretty easily all the texts, make it my own, and then I can also adjust the individual features that are displayed here in this column layout. So for me, I might pick coffee related icon, then of course adjust the color of this icon to fit the brand a bit better. As you can see, all pretty easy. And in here, again, I can add whatever I need. Quite similarly, we can move on to the second feature. Let's just make colors match. And lastly, the third feature, let's also change the icon. This is gonna be good. Again, adjust the color and so on. Then next section. This one is pretty similar in design to the previous one. So if you need a second one like this one, you can also edit it, customize it, add your own content. And if you actually don't have a need for some of the sections, you can disable it from view and it's just gonna vanish. I mean, it is still there, you can still bring it back, but for now you've just disabled it from display. So how to find those sections that you've just, might have disabled by accident? So in here, if you click on front page sections, you will find all the sections that are used on your homepage, with some of them being disabled from view. And this about section is exactly what I disabled in the previous step. So this is this one. Yeah, I just disabled it again, but just remember, if you need any of them back, you're gonna find them here in front page sections. So let's move to the next one, right? Most small businesses will need a theme section. So yeah, you can edit this one pretty easily. Just click on the pencil icon. You're gonna find the main header of the section in here, the main subtitle if you want it. If you don't want a subtitle, you can just delete the text that's in here and it's just gonna vanish from the page, and then you can add individual team members. If you have a smaller team, you can, for example, delete some of the fields. So let's just maybe leave 2 of them on the page just for demo purposes, and then we can edit each one individually. You can quite easily upload a avatar image to identify the person, of course, and then provide the details about who they are, what they do, and whatever else you want to mention about that person, alongside their social media, icons, links, and so on. So pretty cool. Of course, you can add more team members. I don't think there is any limit as to how many team members you can show here. So, be my guest, do whatever, but probably don't go overboard with this one. So that is that. If you have a newsletter, you can of course add a subscription button on your homepage as well. So by default, it's gonna be here. You can control it from the front page sections. For me, I'm just gonna disable it for now, and let's just move on to the client section. This is a very interesting section because this is where you can put your testimonials. Testimonials, of course, can be a very powerful thing when you are a small business and you want to make it known that people are actually enjoying your services. So yeah, just like with any section, you can click into any text, change it however you want. The same thing goes for the subtitle. You can remove it if you don't want it, and then every testimonial can have the image of the person assigned in here, of course, the name, a subtitle, which can be some additional information about the person, and then the actual text of the testimonial. Again, you can add new ones if you need them on the page, but I think that having a row like that is more than enough. It's gonna look great. And then next, one more thing you might want to show is some company logos of either your clients or some companies that you've been working with. So pretty straightforward. All you do is just click on upload image and provide the logo of the company that you want to showcase, reference here in this bar. If you don't need this bar, you can just disable it and it's gonna vanish from here. Next one on the list is the blog section. So if you do publish articles that you want to show to your people, to your customers, then this section is gonna let you customize how you want to show them. For a business website, I wouldn't advise to show more than 3 blog posts, probably. I mean, we can do more if we want to, there's no limit, but it just starts looking more like a classic blog rather than a business website. So 3, I think, is a good balance. And of course, you can come back and change that later on. So let's publish, meaning let's save the settings, let's save everything we've done so far. Let's go back one step and tweak some of the main default appearance settings of this design. One thing that many businesses will want to change is the typography. So you probably do have your favorite fonts, the fonts that define you as a brand, your business. So you can pretty much pick whatever font you wish from this box in here to fit your brand, fit the aesthetic, and so on. So for example, you're gonna see here at the top the fonts changing in the menus, in the site name, and in some places throughout the page. You can also adjust the sizes of the fonts, and you can do it on a per page basis. For example, if we scroll down here, you're gonna see front page settings, and this is where you can either make the fonts larger or smaller for specific sections on this page. So just to show you what's possible, let me increase the big title in the middle of this page just to, make it clear what it's doing. However, in most cases, we probably don't need it this big, so I'm even gonna make it smaller. For the section title, yeah, you can see those in here. We can make them a bit bigger. This is gonna be good. And section subtitles, they can also be a bit bigger. For the content itself, I would probably also advise to make them a bit bigger. And yeah, we've just tuned up the typography of the whole site in a very, very simple and quick way. What's more, we can go into colors. And of course, in most cases, you will want to adjust your colors as well. For example, let's do the accent color. So for me, I might want a darker color to match the topic of the site a bit more. So that one, I think I like. It looks good, so I'm gonna stay with that. And if you need more options to customize the colors, you can pretty much see here in this section, the grayed out section, other options available if you decide to go for the premium version of Hestia. So what we've been doing so far is all free. You just grab the free Hestia theme and you can customize all I've been doing up until this point. If you want more control over your colors, over additional features also, then you might want to get the pro version of Hestia. Then of course we can tune up the background image of the whole website, and lastly, the main settings for the buttons that will appear throughout our website. So for example, we have this main button in here in the center. So what we can do is increase the radius on the button. You can see it's becoming a bit more round. So I think I like this version. So I'm just gonna stay with that. So those basic settings are looking all right. Then next thing, which is very important for all websites, right? So if we go to header options and site identity, this is where we can set the logo. So yeah, just upload your logo, just click on select logo, and you can use whatever image. So I'm just gonna use this Mocapod as my logo. Why not? I think it's gonna look good. If you want to, you can crop the image to fit the space a bit better. I think I'm gonna go with something like that. So let's crop it. Yeah, and you're gonna see that it's appeared already here in the top. I didn't do it maybe the best way possible because the logo is a bit dark and you cannot really see it here on this coffee background, but if you scroll down, it starts appearing a bit better. I am sure that your logo is going to be much better because this is just an example logo and yours is going to be real, but there's actually more we can do here to the header of this website. So let's go back one step and then into website header. So for example, we can enable search in the header. Why not? It's a useful feature for some websites, not for all of them, but for some it is. So let's just keep it. And then we can also pick whether the header should be transparent or not. So let's just disable it. And when I disable it, you're gonna see that my header has become much more readable. So I think I'm actually gonna stay with that. Of course, the next feature is sticky navbar. So as you see here, when I disabled it, it stopped scrolling with the page. But I think that this sticky option is quite cool, so I'm gonna stay with that. Optionally, you can switch the layout of the whole header. So maybe you want to show the logo at the very top, or maybe you want a layout like that with additional widget area available in here. Those are all pretty nice features. So to be honest, for this demo, I think I'm gonna go with this one. So it's looking all right. So let me just publish it, meaning let's save the settings and let's close this one, which will bring us to the homepage. Again, as you can see, it's pretty nice. However, there's something missing. So it would be nice to have a contact form in here, and we can do it. We can get the contact form pretty easily. All we do is just go into plugins, go into add plugin, WP Forms, let's install the plugin, then activate. So now when we go into WP Forms, we're gonna see a new form created for us right out the gate. So let's click into it. And this is a very simple, a very basic contact form. We can edit the fields in this form. Maybe we don't need the subject. Yeah, so let's just delete it. We probably do want the person contacting us to provide a name. Of course, we do want the email and the message itself. So let's save it. It's gonna be a really, really simple form with that, we can close the window and we have a contact form pretty much ready. So if we go to our homepage again and customize it again, right here at the very bottom, we will find a totally new section, and that is the contact form that we just created in WP Forms. So we can again click on the pencil icon. We can again change the image in the background. I like my coffee image a bit more, so I'm gonna use that. Of course, we can change any text that you can see here. And then in the content section, what's added in here by default is the contact form that we just created, but that is pretty much it. It's just gonna work. So if we close this, go back to the homepage, we're gonna see the contact form right here at the very bottom, so people can use it, can contact us, can let us know about whatever they want. So that is pretty much the one-page design of Hestia. If you want to do more, you can of course create additional pages, but you probably know that. So if you want more pages, you can just go to your WordPress dashboard, pages, and then create a new page. As you can see, there are a couple of pages created here already. So the main ones that this theme comes with is the about page, the theme page, and the contact page. They are just standard example pages. So if we click into about, this is just some example content. So if you want to edit any of it, just click on edit page, and this is going to take you to the standard page editing interface of WordPress. So the first thing that you would probably want to do is, select it all, delete it all, and start adding your own content. So I'm gonna just show you a couple of things. So for example, if you go into patterns and then click on author blocks, you're gonna see some patterns created, provided by author blocks plugin, the one that you've imported together with Hestia. So this one allows you to create some nice looking designs for the pages that you have on your site. For example, the about page is a great one to customize that way. So I'm just gonna go with this section. For starters, yeah, I think it's gonna look quite okay. Then maybe this section, why not? It's also pretty fine. And with that, as always, just customize the text you see here on the page, the images, you can replace the images with anything you want, and then use any of the other blocks to create the design that matches the brand. Again, click on the plus icon, and this is where you can get to the patterns available, meaning a combination of blocks that create specific sections on the page. And if you want to go one by one, you can also go to the blocks section and in here pick from a range of different content blocks that you can just drag and drop into your design. And for example, maybe have something like a progress bar that you can of course click into and then customize to display whatever you want it to display. And one more thing, maybe let's remove this featured image. Actually, I think that the design is gonna look quite okay without it. And yeah, here is the page. Of course, it has just some example content in it, but you can customize to be whatever you want. Yeah, so that is it. That is how you create a simple small business website design using Hestia, doing it all for free. If you're interested, you can click into customize again and then click on view pro features just to learn what the pro version of Hestia can bring you. So yeah, that has been it. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you're gonna check it out. I hope you're gonna test Hestia for building your own small business website. Don't forget to like, subscribe. There's a lot more content coming up, and see you next time.